So yeah, for those of you who saw my community post the other day, I'm going to start doing a video series called The Steelers Suck. And this one will be part 1, where I talk about why we should get rid of these money launderers, like the ones I'm talking about in the thumbnail. So yeah, so let's see. So going into the 2024 season, Scam Hayward. So not only did he demand a fat ass contract that he should have never gotten in the first place, but of course we wasted money on it and gave him the contract, like his old, overrated, washed up fat ass told the front office to do. But he is also responsible for why we got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields on the team for 2024. Him, Watt, and Minka, like they begged the front office to bring Russ in. They wanted him here. We brought in Russ, and we ended up overpaying him. We ended up overpaying him, just like we ended up overpaying Cam Hayward later on in the offseason of last year. And of course, this year, what does this team do? Or I'm sorry, well, not the team, but what do Cam, Watt, and Stinka do? What do these three cucks do? Oh yeah, they recruited DK Metcalf, and the front office, listened to them. Because our front office has no balls and they don't want to put their foot down and act like the boss. But instead, because these three players right here want to run the locker room. And I'll talk about the locker room in another video later on in the series. But this is what I'm talking about, right? I want these money launderers off of this team. I'm sick of them. Like, none of these players should be demanding for money and demanding for this player and that player to play for us and telling the front office to do that. Instead, the front office should ignore them and get them out. Get them out. And I understand, yes. We see this with a lot of teams with their players nowadays, how they try to recruit people. But with the way it goes with Cam Hayward, TJ, and Minka, like, I mean, it's like they're always begging for money for us to overpay this player, that player, and even these three players themselves, which is what we've done. Especially, these players talk and they have big mouths for guys who do absolutely nothing in the playoffs. And for a team that, got ran over by Derrick Henry twice in Baltimore. Like, we should not be letting these players have influence over who we sign. If it's a quarterback, I guess that can kind of be one thing, but if it's defensive players, no. I don't care how good they are, they should not have any influence on who we bring in and how much we're supposed to pay this player and that player. And thanks to these three assholes right here, like, they're the reason why we're so tied down to cap space over the years and why we're not able to make moves to improve the team. But yeah. These players are overrated scrubs. They don't do anything in the playoffs at all. But yet they want to act like they have the right to sit there and tell the front office and whoever who should be brought in and how much they get paid. And while Mike Dumlin is the main reason, and he's mostly to blame for why we had another bullshit late season collapse and getting blown out in the first round for the billionth time, might I add, right? These three players, Minka, and TJ, like, they gotta take blame for this too, because they wanted Russ here. They did. They wanted him here, they wanted Justin Fields here, and those were the quarterbacks. So Russ was the quarterback for the most part. But yeah, they wanted Russ here. They did. And while and that was after we all saw how washed up he was in Denver. And while he was looking good with us for a little bit with the moon balls and all that, the moment teams started to take away the moon balls from Russ, the guy that Cam, Minka, and TJ wanted over here so bad, that was another big part on why we ended up having that late season collapse. Because teams took away the only thing that Russ was able to do, and that was the moon ball. So yes, it doesn't just fall on Tomlin, though he is the main reason. But it also falls on Minka Fitzpatrick, fat-ass Cam Hayward, and TJ Twat. That is they're to blame for our late season collapse in 2024. Especially because Twat didn't even record a single stat in the playoff loss we had to Baltimore. Granted, I'm not surprised at all that we lost that game, but still. And then it was also the second game in a row where TJ Twat went two straight games without recording a single stat. If that doesn't prove how overrated TJ is, I don't know what does. Great player, but he's useless in the playoffs. Utterly useless. And it's also proof on the fact that letting money launderers on your roster have a ruling on who we should sign and all that. That shows that letting that happen has consequences. Letting money launderers run the team as far as who we sign goes, or at least giving them at least any sort of role in that at all, that has consequences. And the 2024 season, the late season collapse, made proof of that. It was the cold, hard proof that letting money launderers like these three have influence on who we bring in shows that doing that has consequences. So with that said, until we get rid of these three money launderers, we will continue to see consequences year in, year out until they retire or whatever. We will continue to see the consequences of letting money launderers have a role in who we bring in. Players gotta be players, coaches gotta coach, and the front office needs to be the front office. But anyways, that'll do for the first part of many to come for this series. Stay tuned, because it's going to be a long series. I am just getting started. I'm just getting started. You hang tight. But anyways, I'm out.